Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, sit properly. Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Nam Hare 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 Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौतम श्री चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौतम हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम नाम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम नाम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे राम Krishna Hare Radha Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Radha Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Radha Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Radha Rama Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna.
Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Radha Rama Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
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 Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Radha
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Radha
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Radha
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर वासुदेव गणपति जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर वासुदेव गणपति चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे
हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम
कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna
Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Rama
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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Nanam Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Nam Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Nam Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Madhana Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much for joining. Let us begin with Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam pangam langāyate girim yat kripātam vande Shri Gurum Denutārinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. So let us read the reviews of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. We completed the translations and the purports by Srila Prabhupada. So let us go through these study guides from Gauranga Darshan Prabhupada to understand a little more. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, Chapter 9, entitled A Tree of Devotional Service. Let me read sections and then over to you. 1 to 5 talks about obeisances. So obeisances to Jagadguru Lord Chaitanya and his devotees and the Goswamis. By the mercy, I write the Lord's pastimes for self-purifications. Who is saying this? By their mercy, I write the Lord's pastimes for self-purification. Quickly, anybody? Who has written? నేను అడగట్లేదమ్మా, నువ్వు చెప్తాలే అడగను. యా, ఎవరు చెప్పండి? మదర్స్ ప్రభు, లలితమాన్ ప్రభు. Just leave.
Yeah, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami.
Don't tell. Okay.
Huh?
I told you don't reveal.
Acha.
Okay. Yeah. So who is the author? Mataji's Prabhu's?
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is praying for their mercy. Obeisance to Jagadguru Lord Chaitanya and his devotees and the 6 Goswamis. By their mercy, I write the Lord's pastimes for self-purification. 6 to 30 slokas. The Chaitanya tree. 6 to 9 and 12. Lord Chaitanya is a tree of Krishna Prema. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanyaya Namne Gauradvishaya Namaha. It's a gardener, its main trunk and its branches, and the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits. Thus the meaning of his name, Vishwambhara, is fulfilled. 10 to 11 and 13 to 16 talks about the seed of bhakti first fructified in the heart of Madhavendra Puri and then in Ishvara Puri. The 9 sannyasis headed by Prabhu Paramananda Puri are the roots of the tree. 7 to 24. From the trunk, many branches and hundreds of sub-branches grew that filled the entire universe. The main trunks are Advaita and Nityananda. 25 to 30. Nectarian priceless fruits appeared everywhere on the tree, and the gardener distributed them for free without discrimination. 31 to 46. Lord Chaitanya addressed the branches and sub-branches. This is an Aulaukika vriksha. This is an Alaukika vriksha, and I am the only gardener. How many fruits can I eat alone? I order everyone to distribute them everywhere. A human being in Bharatavarsha should make one's life successful and work for the benefit of others. That's that verse. Bharata Bhumi Lokelas Paro Sarva Paropakara. That one. 47:53. The fruit distribution. The descendants of the tree, devotees, distributed prema phala and intoxicated everyone. Thus the gardener smiles with pleasure. Those who formerly criticized the Lord also ate the fruits and began to dance. Yeah. So each section.
Alaukika.
Huh?
Alaukika.
Alaukika vriksha. I am the only gardener. Alaukika ante no discrimination. In the previous, what is saying? Nectarian priceless fruits appeared. Verse Udam. What Prabhupada has written. This is an Alaukika vriksha. No discrimination. Basically, this fruit is going to distribute it for everyone, not eating for own selfish or like that. How many fruits can I eat alone? I order everyone to distribute them everywhere. A human being in Bharatavarsha should make one's life successful and work for the benefits of others. So this section we'll see there, 31 to 46. Yeah, let us read. Mataji's who is there? Let me see. Yeah, Samyukta Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, Lavanya. Yeah, anybody, please start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
1 to 5 obeisances. Obeisances unto the spiritual master of the entire world, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a dog can swim across a great ocean. Tam Srimat Krishna Chaitanya Devam Vande Jagat Gurum Yasyanu Kampaya Swapi Mahabdim Santaret Sukham. 2 to 3. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, Nityananda, Advaita, Srivasa Thakura, and all other devotees. In order to fulfill all my desires, I remember their lotus feet. I also remember the 6 Goswamis, Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, Dasa Raghunatha. Unless one is the serpent of Krishna and the Vaishnavas, as Kaviraja Goswami presents himself to be in offering respects to Lord Chaitanya and his devotees, one should not attempt to write transcendental literature. Self-purification. It is by the mercy of all these Vaishnavas that I attempt to write the pastimes and qualities of Lord Chaitanya. Whether I know it or know not, it is for self-purification that I write this book. ए सभा प्रसदे लिखी चैतन्य लीला गुना ज्ञानिवा जानिवा न जानी करी अपान शोधना. One should write transcendental literature to purify oneself, not for the credit of being a great author for material name and fame. By writing about the Lord's pastimes, one associates with him directly. Such writing is for self-purification. Fame as a great author is only incidental. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In one of the song, it is singing, we are singing like this. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunada Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunada Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. So if we remember the song, we remember all the 6 Goswamis' names. Shri Rupa Sanatana, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Bhatta, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. 6 Goswamis we put in our altar, remembering every day. For their mercy, we are understanding the literature in proper way. Yes, this also self-purification.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We'll sing Prabhuji in Mangalarti in Prabhuji, Sripad Prabhuji. This.
Yeah, that will be sing every day in temple also. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ye sabha prasade liki chaitanya lila guna jani vana jani kari apana shodhana. So that's what the tune of this. This is in Bengal literature. Yeah. Go ahead, Sandhya Mata, you would like to read?
Prabhuji, I'll be in hearing mode. Prabhuji, Kesari Nandan is not allowing.
Sure. Lavanya, go ahead.
ఏమైంది 6:30 The Chaitanya tree. 6:1 I take shelter of Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna Premara Taru, the tree of transcendental love of Krishna. Mala Karah is gardener. Data Bhokta Tat Palanam, the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits. Malakara Swayam Krishna Prema Marataru Swayam Data Bhakta Tatpalanam Data Bhakta Tatpalanam Yastam Chaitanyam Ashraye. 7th Vishwambara. The Lord Chaitanya thought the meaning of my name Vishwambara will be actualized if I can fill the whole universe with prema. 8-9 The gardener. Thinking thus, he accepted the duty of a gardener, Malakara, and began to grow a garden in Navadvipa. Thus he brought the desired tree of devotional service, Bhakti Kalpataru, to this earth. He sowed and seed the sprinkled upon it with the water of his will, Ichcha Pani. 10th one. All glories to Sri Madhavendra Puri. The storehouse of Krishna Prema and a desired tree of devotional service, Bhakti Kalpataru, it is in him and with the seed of devotional service first began to sprout. Pratama Ankura. Madhavendra Puri was the first person in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya to exhibit the symptoms of love of Godhead. Sri Ishwara Puri. The seed of devotional service next fructified, Pushta, in the form of Ishwara Puri, and then the gardener himself, Lord Chaitanya, became its main trunk. Ishwara Puri pleased his spiritual master Madhavendra Puri by service, and by his blessing he became such a great personality, and the Lord Chaitanya accepted him as his spiritual master. It is by the mercy of the spiritual master that one becomes perfect and receives the mercy of Krishna. By his inconceivable powers, the Lord became the gardener, the trunk, and the branches simultaneously. 13-16. 9 Sannyasi roots. Sober and grave Paramanandapuri, the central root Keshava Bharati, Brahmanandapuri, Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Vishnupuri, Keshavapuri, Krishnanandapuri, Sri Narsimha Tirtha, and Sukhanandapuri. They all sprouted from the tree trunk, and thus the tree stood steadfastly on their strength. 70-20 branches. From the trunk grew many branches, and above that, from the trunk grew many branches, and above them innumerable others. They formed a cluster of society. ISKCON is one of these, covering the entire universe. From each branch grew many thousands of branches, hundreds of branches that no one.
It's okay. Sub branches.
No one. Some of the formidable branches are as follows. The two trunks. At the top of the tree trunk, the two main, Sri Advaita Prabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. From these two trunks grew innumerable branches and sub-branches that covered the entire world. Thus, innumerable disciples, Shishya, grand disciples, Prashishya, and their admirers, Upashishya, Gana, spread throughout the entire world.
Yeah, established. Yeah. Disciples, Shishya. Grand disciples, Prashishya. And their admirers, Upashishya Gana. So are we Srila Prabhupada's Prashishya? Yes or no? All of us who are practicing Krishna consciousness?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are all we Prashishyas? Grand disciples?
Grand disciples.
Prabhupada. Yes. And Prabhupada, see how Prabhupada nicely, they formed a cluster of society. ISKCON is one of these. ISKCON is one of those branches. Right? So ISKCON is preaching movement, spreading the Lord's glories and teachings. So it's a branch. Sharing this fruit to everyone. Yes. Raja Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Prabhu.
And
Fruits of Bhakti Vriksha appeared everywhere. As if big fig trees bears fruits all over its body. Each part of the tree of devotional service bore fruit. The Chaitanya tree is also referred to as the tree of devotional service, Bhakti Vriksha. Second, surpassed nectar. Since Lord Chaitanya was the original trunk, their taste surpassed the taste of nectar. The fruits ripened, become sweet and nectarian. Cost of the fruit. All the wealth in the three worlds cannot equal the value of such nectarian fruit of a devotional service. Transcendental gardener, Lord Chaitanya distributed the fruits without asking any price to anyone, not considering who asked for it and who did not, nor who was fit and was unfit to receive it. Mageva na mageya keha patra va aparta ihara vichara nahi jane deya matra, handful after handful in all directions. And when the poor, hungry people ate their fruit, he smiled with a great pleasure. Can I continue, Prabhu?
Continue. This is a word. Magevana mage keha patra va apatra ihara vichara nahi jane deya matra. Chalan. And there no discrimination. See, to anyone not considering to who asked for it or who did not, nor who was fit and was unfit to receive it. And they magnanimous incarnation. No discrimination. Anybody. Even, we have different caste systems, right? SC, ST, tribal. In front of Krishna, nothing. In even SC, ST, if they are practicing Krishna consciousness, worshipable personality. No caste creed, Reddis, Naidus. We have caste system, right? Different things. In front of Krishna, nothing. No caste system, no discrimination. Everyone is Krishna's servant. Simple.
And in our Bhakti Shastri, this is a universal principle given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Universal principle. Yeah. And no African American. Different people are there.
The dog eater can perform devotional service. He is in more than Brahmana, who is born in a Brahmana family.
Right. Chandala, it's called dog eater, right? So this guy. So when they practice in Krishna consciousness, they are worshipable. Yes. No caste, no discrimination, no color. There are in US, it's a different thing. No gender discrimination, no caste discrimination, no religion, open culture. So our Krishna consciousness is an open culture. Anybody can come. Transgenders, different people are there in the world. Yeah. Yes, go ahead, bro.
You want to read from it?
Prabhu?
The tree of transcendental love of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, gardener, planter of Bhakti Kalpataru at Navadvipa trunk. Kanda and branches sucker simultaneously. The Lord's will. Water sprinkled on the tree, Madhavendra Puri. In him the seed fructified first Paramatma Ankura.
Pratama.
Paramananda.
Pratama Ankura.
Pratama Ankura.
And the Paramatma Ankura, the Paramatma already there.
Paramananda Puri, central root.
Sri Ishwar.
Sri
Ishwar. In him the seed is cultivated. Pusta. Paramananda Puri, central root. Keshava Bharati, Brahmananda Puri, Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Vishnu Puri, Keshava Puri, Krishnananda Puri, Sri Narasimha Tirtha and Sukhananda Puri. 8 routes in the 8 directions. On these routes, the Chaitanya tree stood firmly.
Yeah.
Clusters forming a society, branches and sub-branches covering all universe. Sri Advaita Prabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu trunk branched into 2 at the top of the tree. Disables, grand disables and admires in infinite branches and sub-branches covering the entire world.
You want to do one more section, Madhuri? Some thing, yeah. We'll give it to somebody. Okay. Yeah. So this one we got it. Lavanya, Alaukika Vriksha. Since the tree of devotional service is transcendental, every one of its parts can perform the actions of all others. It has the ability to move. All the tree is supposed to be immovable. All its parts are spiritually cognizant, and thus as they grow, they spread all over the world. 31. Lord Chaitanya addressed the multifarious varieties of branches and sub-branches. This section 31 to 46, Lord Chaitanya addresses the branches and sub-branches. In that, Alaukika Vriksha came. You got the point?
Yes. That means it's not confined to this one. It's like spreaded, I think. Yeah, Alaukika. There is no discrimination.
Yeah, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, you please go ahead and read. Would you like to add anything, Prabhu? Alaukika Vriksha? Anything to share? Any info?
No, Mataji, no, Prabhuji, already given. No, what can I add?
Yes.
It's already given.
Go ahead from this 34.
34, 35, 37. I'm the only gardener. How many places can I go? How many fruits can I pick up and distribute? It's a very laborious task to pick and distribute them alone. Still, I suspect that some would receive them and others would not. If I do not distribute these fruits, what shall I do with them? How many fruits can I eat alone? 36, 38, 40. Therefore, I order every man to distribute it everywhere. By the Lord's desire, water has been sprinkled all over the tree. Thus, there are innumerable fruits. Let people eat these fruits and ultimately become free from old age and death. Then my reputation as a pious man, Punya Khyati, will increase and people will glorify me. Bharatavarsha. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Bharata bhumite haila manushya janma yara janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. Perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with one's life, wealth, intelligence, and words. Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 22 chapter, 31st verse. Etavad janma safalyam perform beneficial acts for all living entities by one's work, thoughts, and words in this life and in the next. Vishnu Purana 3.12.45. Praninam Upakaraya. Should I go ahead, Prabhuji?
You complete it.
Yes. Okay, 44 to 45. I want to help like a tree. I am merely gardener. I simply have some fruits and flowers that I wish to utilize to achieve piety. Though I am acting as a gardener, I also want to be the tree, for then I can bestow benefit upon all. 46. Krishna praises the tree's birth as a successful, for they maintain every living entity, and anyone who asks anything from them never goes away disappointed. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 22nd chapter, 33 verse. Aho esham varam.
Yeah. 10:22. 33. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Akin Chan, Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
No problem.
The 47 to 50, the fruit distribution. The descendants of the three devotees were glad to receive the Lord's order. 48 to 50. Prema Phala, fruit of love of God, is so delicious that those who relish it immediately becomes intoxicated. It fills the belly and makes one mad, chanting, dancing and laughing. Seeing this Lord Chaitanya, the gardener smiles with a great pleasure. 51 to 52. Even the Lord personally eats it and constantly remains mad. With his Sankirtana movement, he made everyone mad like himself. We do not find anyone who was not intoxicated by his Sankirtana movement. Lord Chaitanya, being a real teacher, not only taught but also practiced his philosophy to teach the people. Apana Achari Bhakti Karila Prachara Adilila 4.41. Unless one is able to understand the philosophy that he speaks, it will not be effective. Transformation. Persons who had formerly criticized the Lord also are the fruit and began to dance, saying, "Very good, very good." Now different branches of the tree will be described. Prayers to Rupa Raghunatha, Sri Rupa Raghunatha, Pade Yara Asa. Sri Rupa Raghunatha, Pade Yara Asa, Adi Lila 1.110.
1.10. Yes. Yeah. This section done, this chapter 9 of Adilila. It talks about the tree, desired tree. No, not desired. It's a devotional tree. Right? Bhakti Vriksha. Tree of devotional service. That's why Jayapataka Maharaj is one of our senior Sannyasi Maharaj in our movement. He come up with a concept called Bhakti Vriksha, tree of devotional service. Sitting, regularly come to our different homes and discuss about the pastimes of the Lord, readings, discussions in the circle form. Actually, we had first time in US, 2011, I think, 2011 in Chicago area. We went to one of Bhakti Vriksha program. Circle, devotees sitting in circles and read and discussion every week. So it's called Bhakti Vriksha. Discussing about the pastimes and reading about his glories, all these scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada books, Krishna book, various books are there. So that's a regular practice, attending these satsangs every week, every weekends. Normally Monday to Friday, all are busy with our professional duties. So every Saturday, Sundays, these are the services. Fully, Saturday, Sundays are for Krishna only. No other business, except some family related, to buy groceries or something. When we were in US, it's different. All those 2 days are for Krishna. Yes. So this is the chapter called the Tree of Devotional Service, Bhakti Vriksha. So we completed actually Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila up to 9th chapter. We completed regularly this every day, 30 minutes Monday to Friday. Bhagavad Gita we completed 9 chapters. Bhagavatam first canto 9 chapters. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 9 chapters. Slow and steady. This is continuous wherever I am being situated. I just want to tell you, Prabhujis and Matajis, actually I'm going to US tomorrow morning for 1 month, 4 weeks, and this call continues. Actually, Raju Prabhu, actually I asked Deepa Mata also, please take care of this. I will be there. Mostly, we'll see how it works. But this time is going to be night in the US. I'll collect. And we have that recently I started that Srila Prabhupada small books reading. That also timings will be little adjusted. Let us discuss with devotees today with that in that call. This will continue. See, this is in Zoom calls. It's virtually wherever be, whether be in India, Karimnagar, or US. Call continues. I'll be there. I'll be joining and continues. So that's the thing. Some more. My employer, US employer, he asked me to come and some work is there. So that's the thing. And yeah, this week we have slokas. We need to do some sloka practice also. So Lavan is coordinating in the evenings, nights, 8:30 or 8 o'clock, whatever time. With Mata is anybody likes to join, please join there. Same Zoom meeting ID. Next, this coming Saturday is the exam. So for all the 13 verses. So that's with that, our Bhakti Shastra will be officially ending. So since we are yet to complete the sloka test. So this week we'll let us practice slokas nicely in this call also. And evenings also. Evenings, Lavan is going to do that. So for today, let us do for this practice. Okay, so see, I wanted to recite all the 13 without looking. Let me see. First line I'll look and try to practice. But it's translations, some translations I am getting, some translations I am not yet there. I have to practice more. So let us do. Bhagavad Gita 13.22. Purisha prakritisto hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sad asadyoni janmasu. Translation: the living entity in this material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the 3 modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Bhagavad Gita 13.23. Upadrasta anumanta cha bhakta bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purusham param. Yet in this body there is another a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, who is the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. 14.26. Mam cheyo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in devotional service, in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. 15.7. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana manashasthani driyani prakritisthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditions life, they are struggling with the 6 senses, which includes the mind. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivisto mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta kritveda vid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Next, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Vedanta Krit Vedavid Eva Chahya. I am the compiler of the Vedanta, the Vedavid. I am to be known. Vedavid, the knower of the Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. Okay. 18.54. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati na Kamshati Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he remains pure devotional service unto me. They have to practice. 18.55 Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. One can understand me as I am, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full conscious of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad Gita 18.65 Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaisati satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Yeah. 18.66 Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Bhakti Rasam Sindhu 1.1.11 Anyabhilashi shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama bhaktiruttama. When a first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Yeah. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.12. This is 1.1.11, 1.1.12. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. There are two side effects. Without any material desires. In this one, utilizing our senses. Bhakti Rasam Sindhu 1.2.234 Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyai Sevonmuke Hijihvadau Swayam Yeva Spuratyadaha. Because Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes, etc. are all on the absolute platform, material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255 Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayunjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. Thank you, Mata Prabhuji, for the opportunity to recite. So anybody likes to do? Hare Krishna. Akinchan Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I'll do, but see, I'll do.
Huh?
I'll try to do by seeing only.
No, without looking.
Raju Prabhu is doing.
Is you wanted to do Hare Krishna? Let us do till 9 o'clock. Another 12 minutes there. Go ahead. Look by looking at do it, Prabhu. Akinja Prabhu.
Pursha prakritisto hi bhumte prakrite jangunan karnam guna samgasya sad asad yoni janvaso. The living entities in the material nature thus follows the ways of the life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus he meets with the good and the evil among various species. Upadrishtata Anmanta cha bhakta Bharata bhakta Maheshwara Paramatmeti chapi yukto deis purusha para. Yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor who exists as the overseer and permitter and who is known as super soul.
Yes.
Namchayo Vibicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samvitetan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. One who engages in a full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Amayamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashashthyani Indriyani Prakritistani Karishati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmented parts. Due to conditions life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which includes the mind. Sarvascha chaham iti sannivishtu matta asmitarjnana apohanam cha vedecha sarvaham eva vedyo vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. At me comes the remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of Vedas. Brahmabhuta prasannatma nasochate na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service. He attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yasu chasma tatpata tato mam tatpato jnanatma vishate tat anantaram.
Gyatva.
Sorry, bro.
Tato mam tatvato gyatva.
Gyatma. One who understands me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is fully conscious of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Manmana Bhavat Bhakto Madhya Jivam Namaskuro Mame Vaishya Satyante Pratijani Priyasrive. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Sarvadharman paritteja mamekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mukshiyashyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Anyabilashita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishnanasuilanam bhaktiruttama. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by the monastic philosophy, and fruitive actions. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Sarvopadhivinurmuktam tat paravartena nirmal
Paratvena, Prabhu.
tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. अतः श्री कृष्ण नामादि न ब्रवेर ग्रहम इंद्रिये सेवो मुखे हि जिह्वादो स्वयं एव स्फुरते हदा. Because Krishna's forms, qualities, pastimes, etc., all absolute platform, material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When the conditioned soul is awakened to the Krishna consciousness and renders service by using the tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. अनासक्त्यस्य विषयान् यथार्थम् उपयुञ्जत निर्बन्ध कृष्ण संबंधे युक्तं वैराग्यम् उच्यते. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness.
Thank you, Hakinchan Prabhu. Yes. Yeah. One more devotee, then we'll wrap up another 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Hare Krishna. Chesara Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
చెప్పండి.
చేయండి ప్రభుజీ.
చేయండి మీరు మీ ఇష్టం. చేస్తారా?
చేస్తాం ప్రభు. ఇంకెవరైనా ఉన్నారు ప్రభు చేసేవాళ్ళు?
రెగ్యులర్ అంటే మనమే ఎగ్జామ్ రాసులు సంయుక్త మాతది ఓకే ఇష్టం. లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు ఉన్నారు.
నేను చేయను ప్రభుజీ.
చేయండి
ప్రభు. ఎవరైతే ట్యూన్స్ కొంచెం ఆల్రెడీ గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్నారో మర్చిపోండి, లేకపోతే జోలు మూసేసుకోండి ప్రభు. దట్ విల్ బి గుడ్. I wanted to just once practice.
మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి మమ్మల్ని ఆయన ఫెయిల్ చేశారు.
లేదు ప్రభుజీ, అట్లా కాదు. ఒక్కసారి నా ట్యూన్ నేను చేసుకుంటా ప్రభుజీ ప్రాక్టీస్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఎందుకంటే 5-6 days నుంచి మీ ట్యూన్స్ వింటున్నాను కదా. సో ఐ జస్ట్ కమ్ బ్యాక్. వేరే వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ టు మీ.
మిమ్మల్ని మా మార్గంలోకి తీసుకురావాలి. మా ట్యూన్ చేయండి విన్నాం.
ప్రభు, ఐ జస్ట్ రీడ్ ద శ్లోకాస్ ప్రభుజీ, బికాస్ ఐ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ నాది ఇట్లా ఉండదు ప్రభుజీ, నాదంతా వర్డ్ టు వర్డ్ సినానిమ్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఐఎమ్ సారీ. శ్లోకాస్ ఒకటి చేసి విల్ ర్యాప్ అప్. పురుష ప్రకృతిస్థో హి భుంక్తే ప్రకృతియాన్ గుణాన్ కారణం గుణ సంగోస్య సదసద్ యోని జన్మసు. ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ చదివిన ప్రభుజీ వాసుకోలేదు. Translation: the living entity in the material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good, evil among various species. Upadrushtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwarah paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purusha parah. Translation: yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Translation: one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha Mana Shashtani Indriyani Prakritisthani Karshati. Translation: the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mata smritirjnanamapohanam cha vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo vedanta kritveda videva chaham. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nashochati Nakangshati Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhaktim Labhate Param. Translation: one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards all living entities, towards every living entity. In that state, he attends pure devotional service unto me. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyastasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tad anantaram. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam yeva yashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Sarvadharman parityajna mamyekam paritajya mamyekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Translation: abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
కావాలని చూపించాలి తొందరగా రొటేషన్ మీకు తెలుసు కదా
Yes, Prabhu.
ఇంతమంది ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ మీకు కూడా వచ్చు కదా ఇంతమంది ఎస్ అందుకే తొందరగా చూపించినది
అన్యాభిలాషితా శూన్యం జ్ఞాన కర్మాద్యనావృతం అనుకూల్యేన కృష్ణాను శీలనం భక్తిరుత్తమా. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by the monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Bhakti or devotion service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Supreme Person, Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai sevonmuke hi jihvado swayam eva spuratyadaha. Because Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, etc. are all on the absolute platform, material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. Anasattasya vishayan yatarham upayunjatah nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time accepts anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated about possessiveness. Hare Krishna. It's 9-9-3. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's okay. Actually, Prabhu, Lord's Prabhu, Chesa, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, okay. Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Pranams, Vancha Krupataro, Bishya Krupa, Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all. Thank you very much.